Students, whatever homework is given to you, you have to submit it on the very next day between 8 am to 1 pm to the given WhatsApp number, and it is compulsory to submit your homework as your attendance will be marked on the basis of your submission.
Good morning, friends. I hope you are all doing well. I welcome all of you to the KGK online education. I am here today to teach you social science subject of 9th standard. And the chapter that we are going to do today is India's location, geological structure and physiography part 1. This is 13th chapter. In this chapter, we will see about the location of India, how much important it is, what is our place in Asia, and why it is said that India holds a strategic position in Asia. In fact, in the entire world, our position is very crucial. Let me tell you, India is at number 7 as far as geographical area is concerned in the world. We are the largest democratic country in the world, and our culture is the oldest culture perhaps in entire world. In this chapter, first of all, we have to see cultural confluence word. Well, in India we all know that since ancient time, many people from different continents, from different countries, they came to India for trade. Even the Indian merchants, they went to different countries of the world for the trade. And because of that, what happened? The people came to India, they carried their culture from their land, and whoever came to India, they decided to stay here only in India. Well, the sense of love, the feeling of brotherhood which is there in the air of India, perhaps it is found nowhere in the world. We people, we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We believe that the whole world is a family only, and that's why we welcome all the people in our country. And let me tell you, many invaders came to loot India. They came to India to rob the wealth of India, because India was known as the golden bird. But those who came to loot India, they decided to stay here only in India. The Mughals came. The Mughals are found in India today. Muslim people are there. The British people came. The Portuguese came. The Dutchess came. And whoever came to India, they surrendered themselves here only, and they decided to make India as their permanent country. Well, because of the amalgamation of culture, mixture of culture can be seen in India. Amalgamation means mixture only. We can see the English culture in India. If you go to Goa, English culture is there, French culture is there, Portuguese culture is there, Islamic culture can be seen. Buddhist people are living in India, Jain people are there, Sikh people are there. They all have got their own speciality of culture. And many cultures exist all together in India. And that's why it is said that in India, cultural confluence exists or is found. Well, India was known as the golden bird in past, but because of some natural calamities, because of the man-induced disaster, well, India suffered a lot. But in spite of all the challenges, in spite of all the natural and man-made hurdles, India is making progress. The economic growth is going on. Well, this is just the introduction of this chapter, and now the main point begins. The first point that we have to study in this chapter is the location, size and area of India. India is very big. We all know that, but how much big it is, let us see today in detail. Well, India is situated in the northern hemisphere, and the location of India is there between 8 degree 4 to 37 degree 6 north latitude and 68 degree 7 to 97 degree 25 east longitude. It is very huge. It is very vast. Another important point is there. The Tropic of Cancer. It divides the nation in two parts. The Tropic of Cancer, 23 degree 5 north latitude. It separates our nation in two parts, north region and south region. Well, in North India, the Himalayan mountain range is there. The biggest rivers of our country, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, they exist from north and they flow towards south. And in South India, peninsular plateau is there. Well, because of the longitudinal situation, the southern part of our country, it holds a shape like of a triangle, and it is surrounded by from the ocean from three different sides. Now, what is the length of India from north to south and from east to west? From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from north to south, the length of India is 3,214 kilometers, and from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, the total length is 2,933 kilometers. And this puts India at 7th rank in the world. Which are the other 6 countries who holds more land than India, that we will see later on. But India holds a very vast region. Well, because of this too much of size, what happens? From east to west, if we see, there is a difference of 2 hours in time. When in Arunachal Pradesh, sunrise occurs now, at that time in Gujarat, there is night. And the standard meridian time of India is accepted, which is 82 degree 30 longitude. This is the standard time. In all India, the time is based on this longitude. Now comes the total area. Well, we have seen, the length of India from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We have seen the width also from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. And now the total area of India is 32.8 lakh square kilometer, which is very huge. And let me tell you, only 6 countries hold more land, more geographical area than India. And these countries are, number 1 in the world is Russia. Number 2, Canada. Number 3, USA. Number 4, China. Number 5, Brazil. Number 6, Australia. And at number 7 comes our country, India. Yeah, the location of India is very clear. In north side of India, the Himalayan mountain range is there, and other 3 sides are covered by the ocean. Well, because of this, our strategic location is very important in eastern hemisphere, and our the location is so important that because of the situation of India, the Indian name is given to the ocean, and that's why the ocean which is situated at south side of our country is known by Indian Ocean. Well, now because of this situation, the waterways are found in plenty. Big rivers are there, they can be used as waterways, okay, and especially the ocean. Well, India's location is very important because the many international water routes pass from India. In 1869, when the Suez Canal was opened, after that what happened? Those who wanted to go from India to Europe, 7,000 kilometer distance was reduced. And after this, after Suez Canal, what happened? The trade between India and European countries increased. And when the people of the world, when they came to know that which type of wealth was there in India. After that, what happened? Many invaders attacked on India. British people came, the Dutch came, the Portuguese came, the French people came. Their intention was first to trade with India, but when they saw the prosperity of India, they decided to rule over the India. They decided to get control of India so that they can rob the wealth of India from India. Among them, first, the Mughals were very successful. They ruled over the nation for more than 200 years. Then after the Dutch and the Portuguese came, and there was a fight between all of them with India. And after that, the British people, they became successful. They conquered all, and they ruled over India for more than 150 years. Now, which other international routes, waterways routes, they pass from India? Southeast Asia sea route. If anybody from Australia want to go to Africa, they have to pass through Indian Ocean. Whoever wants to go Canada or US from India or from Australia, they have to cross Indian Ocean first. So this all things shows, that location of India has contributed a lot in the prosperity and development of India. Okay friends, let us continue the chapter. We have seen the location, the geological structure of India. Now let us see the neighbors of India. India shares its boundary, international boundary with different countries. The land boundary that India shares, the first one is Pakistan. Who doesn't know about Pakistan, Pakistan and Afghanistan, they share international boundary with India in northwest direction. And we all know that, the Pakistan always want to intrude, the Pakistan always interested in taking Jammu and Kashmir away from India. Okay, let me tell you why Pakistan wants to take Jammu and Kashmir away from India. Actually, in 1947, when British realized that we have to give independence to India, they played politics. And, Mr. Jinnah was the leader of Muslim, and Gandhiji was obviously the leader of all Hindu people over there. And they played, the trick. And according to that, they decided to divide the nation as per the religion. They offered a separate country to Mr. Jinnah. It was Islamic country, and then Pakistan came into existence. Pakistan was born just because of the desire of Mr. Jinnah. And second was the India. In those days, so many, the entire India was separated into different states. And at that time, Gandhiji gave this responsibility to the first Home Minister of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, that it is your responsibility and duty to merge all the states into the United India. In those days, 3 states, they refused to merge their state into India. One was the Nawab of Junagadh, second one was the Nizam of Hyderabad, and I don't know the third one. Okay, but later on, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he tried his level best to merge these 2 states into India. But when he saw, yes, the third one was Jammu and Kashmir, Raja Hari Singh was the king. These 3 states, they refused to merge their states into India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel decided to take, the action against these 2, and the army he sent to Hyderabad. Nizam surrendered, and Hyderabad was merged into India. Then Junagadh, Nawab of Junagadh, the majority of population of Junagadh was Hindu only, and the ruler was Muslim. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel used the same trick. He sent army, and Nawab flew to Pakistan, and then Junagadh was merged into Indian territory. But the case of Jammu and Kashmir was completely different. Raja Hari Singh was Hindu, but the majority of population of Jammu and Kashmir was Muslim. Raja Hari Singh declared that we want to be independent country only, and yes, India said no problem. But in 1948, what happened? Pakistan sent its army to win Jammu and Kashmir and to merge with Pakistan forcefully. And at that time, when Pakistani army was about to reach Srinagar, they had conquered Jammu and they were reaching the Srinagar, the capital of Jammu and Kashmir in those days. Well, Raja Hari Singh sent, urgent message to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel that we are ready to merge our state with Indian territory. And yes, finally, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel decided to take army action. He sent the army there, and yes, army fought, and well, we defeated Pakistani soldiers there. But what happened? Some portion of Jammu and Kashmir was still with Pakistan, still there under the rule of Pakistan, and that part of Jammu and Kashmir is known as POK, Pak Occupied Kashmir. But why Pakistan is interested in Jammu and Kashmir? Let me tell you. It happened in 1971. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. Pakistani army, well, they declared war against India, and America was supporting Pakistan. Well, India decided to fight a battle, okay? In those days, today's Bangladesh, it was eastern Pakistan. An Indian soldier fought with bravery, and yes, we defeated Pakistan. Near about 1 lakh soldiers were arrested by Indian army, which is a world record. And then India broke Pakistan into two pieces, and Bangladesh came into existence in 1971. We defeated Pakistan and we broke Pakistan into two pieces. And because of this insult and humiliation, even today Pakistan thinks that we can break India into pieces. And that's why, the Pakistan sends, the terrorists and all playing tricks against India. But India is a strong nation. We recently, the one movie was released, and it was Uri, and there is a famous dialogue in that movie that this is a new India of 2020. We will get into the house and we will shot them dead. Okay. By the way, come back to the topic. We have talked enough about the movie. So India shares the land, the boundary with Pakistan and Afghanistan in northeast. Then after China, Nepal and Bhutan, we share our boundaries with them in northeast direction. Myanmar and Bangladesh, we share boundary with them in east direction. Then after, there are, the marine neighbors also, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Sorry, there is a spelling mistake. If there is any spelling mistake on blackboard, forgive me, okay? It is, little error only, okay? Sometimes unknowingly errors are happening. So Sri Lanka and Maldives are also our neighbors. Well, the Pak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, they separate Sri Lanka and India. And Maldives, obviously, it is little far away. Indian Ocean is there between Maldives and India. So these are our neighbors. And unfortunately, we have got very poor, very bad neighbors. Like Pakistan is there, China is there, and Nepal. Now, because of China, Nepal has started showing eyes to us. Okay, we always treated Nepal as our young brother only, but now Nepal politically has become active and has. China, we are not having good relations with China. Recently, we had a tussle with Chinese soldiers in Galwan Valley, and what happened there? Well, the entire world saw that. Now comes the geological structure. Well, current physiography of India is just the result of tectonic and crucial movement in Earth. Well, under the Earth, so many movement is occurring that we cannot see. But yes, because of that, what happens? So many changes come on the upper crust of Earth. Well, sometimes the earthquake comes sometimes there is volcanic eruption, and that is just the result of what? The result of tectonic and crucial movement inside the earth. Well, our earth, let us see the interior of earth. What is there under the earth? Well, inside the upper crust of the earth, it always floats on the semi-liquid rocks, which is known as asthenosphere. Remember this. The upper crust is continuously floating on what? On semi-liquid rocks, known as asthenosphere. Well, inside the earth, so much radioactive process going on, and because of that heat is generated, and because of the heat generated inside the earth, the earth upper crust, it continues to float. The inside of the earth is divided in the plates. When the crust of the earth breaks into pieces, that is known by what? The plates. And in entire world there are 7 tectonic plates. The plates are known by tectonic plates, and 7 tectonic plates are currently working under the earth. Let me give you the names also. I have not written the names here only, but yes, inside the book the names are given. The first one is Pacific plate, second one North American plate, third one South American plate, fourth one European plate, fifth one African plate, sixth one Indo-Austrian plate, and seventh one Antarctic plate. These plates continue to move, and because of the movement of the plates, they are separated into 2 groups. The first one is divergent plates. When the 2 plates starts moving against each other, they move away from each other, then they are called what? Divergent plates. And when 2 plates continues to move towards each other, they are known as convergent plates. And when the plates either move away or move towards each other, well, the changes always come on the earth. When they collide with each other, the place where there is ocean today, quite possible mountain will come into existence. Let me tell you the history of Himalaya. The tallest mountain of the world, Himalaya, is there in the north side. Okay, we all know that. But before thousands of years, there was ocean, and the name of that ocean is given in the book. That was Tethys Sea. Tethys Sea was there. But just because of the tectonic movement of the tectonic plates under the earth, what happened? Earthquake came, and the ocean, the Tethys Ocean, well, it submerged under the ground, and mountain Himalaya, well, came into existence. Well, what is the geographical situation of the world today? We are having 7 continents. But let me tell you, thousands of years ago, well, the entire world was united. All continents were united, and that at that time it was known as by Gondwana land. When all the continents were united with each other, at that time it was known as by Gondwana land. But because of the tectonic movement of the plates, because of the movement of tectonic plates, what happened? Well, the entire land got separated into 7 continents. The 7 continents moved into different directions. And yes, today we are having them. So one thing is very clear. The form of land, the upper part of land, is changed because of what? The movement of the tectonic plates. There is another name of tectonic plates given in our book, and that is lithospheric plates. So keep all these things in mind. In 1 mark question they will be asked. So we have seen the large diversity in our Indian subcontinents. mountains are there, the huge rivers are there, the plateaus are there. Well, and all the rivers, they deposit alluvial at some place and they are very fertile. Different ghats are situated in our country. So this gives a unique variety in our country, that creates unique variety of land in our country. So friend, this is the chapter. Now the homework that I am giving you is the question and answer which are given in the textbook. There are short question also, there are question in details. Just go through with them, and if any difficulty is there, you feel, in that case, my number is already there. You can give me call also, you can send me WhatsApp, and I will definitely try to solve your problem. Whatever question and answer you have written in the fair notebook of social science, well, you can send your homework through WhatsApp to me. Have a nice day to all of you. I hope you all have understood this. So enjoy online study of KGK Higher Secondary School. Thank you very much.